Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we are talking about strategies to propel your business into the next year. This new year coming up, we want to get started early so that we're thinking about the future. Okay, with that, we just want to thank all of those of you who are watching live and on the replay. And we're joined by Miss Sylviana. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
beautiful. And we just want to thank everybody for tuning in live and on the replay. And we want to remind you that today is First Monday, so we'll be talking about that in a minute. But before we do that, we're more concerned about you and your business. So let's get this conversation started. Fran, what you got for us today?
Well, I'm always coming up with something. So today we're talking about, okay, this is the last half of the year. Well, less than half of the year. We got 5 months left.
Yes.
It does go fast, doesn't it?
Right. And I'm thinking, okay, we can think about what we've been doing and whatever, and we're just trudging along, or we can start planning future forward. What adjustments um, that do we need to make? How do we need to uh, course correct? What what's our new plan of attack, or what's our new strategy? What do we need to do going forward to make it better, keep it the same? It, there's things happening, so we want to talk about that a little bit. Let me see if I'm gonna put the little note points over here in the chat too.
Okay.
So going forward, what do we need to do? What do I need to start doing, stop doing, or keep on doing? Right? Start,
Absolutely.
stop, keep moving. What's working? What ain't
Oh,
working?
green, red, and yellow.
Yeah, that would be. And because see, we do like simplifying stuff, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and making it easy to do, easy to understand, easy to do. So when you get into your business, it's not uh,
A bunch of jargon.
okay. Yeah, that. So what do we want to do about that, ladies? So we are talking about strategies that can propel us into the new year. And some of you have some really great ideas, and we got a comment up there.
Oh, great. Okay, hold on. Mark, how you doing this morning, Mark?
Did someone say strategy? That's my jam. Yes, it is. And we're talking about suggesting some strategies
Mm-hmm.
that can propel us forward.
I always like to compare business to relationships. Look, if you're dating this person and it's not working, stop it. Stop it. Just next. If
Look
the
at
strategy's not working in your business, stop it. Stop trying to keep courting that dead strategy, that unproductive strategy
and it might have been a strategy that
from
you know
1988 that is no longer relevant.
you know how that what was it, the 4 P's of
Yes.
okay, come on y'all, 4 P's is over. Um
We're not
so
doing product, price, place, promotion. We ain't doing that no more, folks.
now there's got to be a difference. How are we going to make a difference? Because it's my daughter did something. I think I'd like to play her little clip that she sent me. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be okay. But I was like, oh, what a concept. And she tells this story. And I think, Sylviana, you will enjoy the story. But I'm gonna let y'all talk a little bit while I pull that up.
Okay.
What's the haps, man? What are we doing?
Sounds like a plan. So if
You know,
these,
when the first time when I heard the topic for today and we were
Mhm.
talking about strategies to propel a small business in the next year, first off, it's crazy that we're in August. I just feel like the year has just flown by, but I feel like I've been saying this for the last 3 years, so I'm just gonna be quiet. But the first thing that you do is review your approach, as Mrs. Francine was saying. You are now in business. I feel like for a lot of us, we stay within the identify your target market, look at the pros
Mhm.
and cons. Like she said, do the SWOT analysis, do the 4 Ps. Absolutely not. We are no longer doing that anymore. It's simply because you've been able to test your product or service now in the real world. The rules have changed, right? The games have
Mhm.
changed. Now that you have actually gone out your way to make your idea into a business, I imagine over time you've gathered, some feedback, some criticism,
Mhm.
what's working, what's not. It's time for you to update that plan. It's time for you to review your payables. I'm constantly reviewing my operating costs because let's be clear, sometimes we are getting into different, I mean, Miss Francine, she's the queen of tools, softwares, resources. Reach out to her, okay, folks? But I'm pretty sure if there is a tool that you're using that is not serving you, you could probably find a better alternative or a more affordable alternative.
Mm.
There are so many things that are popping up, especially with AI. There's something is always constantly being launched, right? So don't ever say, oh, I have my procedures, everything's in place, I'm not making any changes, because we're simply doing that out of convenience, more so out of refining. And again, we're trying to propel. As you grow, you will have to make some adjustments. And I think as business owners, it's so hard to get foundated that once we do, we're like, okay, let's just now do the day to day. Like I finally made it to this level. And to be quite honest with you, it's a recyclable system. You have to
Mhm.
constantly go through the refining, constantly go through, okay, I thought I was doing this, but now we're doing this. Because if you really take the time to review your business over just a year span, even from idea to ideation, you probably would say, okay, I thought I was reaching 20-year-olds, but I'm really reaching 40-year-olds. I thought that I was going to be able to sell it at 50. I'm realizing I'm having to do a discount every other month, right? You've learned quite a lot. So I would say first thing to do is reevaluate your approach.
Okay, yeah. See, that approach thing, like I said, I'm playing golf now, and your approach shot is just about everything. What club are you going to use? Oh, I can't use that club to take me that distance. I gotta change my approach.
I have to pick up another club. You might have to shift your hip a little bit. You know.
You gotta figure it out. And after you've been doing it for a while, then you get to know, okay, no, I can't use that one, I have to use this one. This one gets me based on the swing or whatever. But you know your business, and now you need to make the adjustment.
100%.
I think when you are reevaluating, you need to also check out the competition. Did they add something that made them more attractive? Did they bring it to the door? Do they, does it come with candlelight and a bottle of wine? I
Absolutely.
don't know. Whatever, but you need to know so that you can stay ahead of the game.
Yes. You have to remember your business plan is a guide. It's not a legal document. It's not stuck in stone, right? It's a guide. It is
I
okay
love
to
that.
refine it from time to time. So, absolutely, Miss T, you have to refresh your marketing plan. Where do I focus my time? I mean, where has things changed? It has my competitor started a whole new strategy that I've missed, right? You could be potentially missing a whole gap within your service or industry because you are no longer staying up to date with what's going on. I know we talk about that a lot at BizChicks, staying in the
Yes.
know, staying on top of things, right? But absolutely, your marketing plan, leveraging digital marketing, making sure that you're overemphasizing your strong online presence, all of it, 100% important.
I mean, even a prenup is supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. Come on, folks. Most people are married.
No, seriously.
Absolutely. So I think one of the concerns when you are thinking about your business and the coming year is to get somewhere. And you know what I always say? Sit down and reflect. Get on the other side of the counter. How do you feel as as a customer in your own business? If you were the customer, do you like this? What would you want? How would you what would you like to have that would better serve you? And then reflect on whether or not you can offer that. And if not, what do you have to do to compensate for not having that? Good morning, Dr. Tachi. We got a comment over here from Mark. Let's see. He says, do you have clear measurements? Okay, because goals need measurements to assess your progress, to assess your success. Have you designed an effective feedback mechanism to gather valuable information from your clients? You know,
Ooh.
some of us don't want to hear it.
So,
We just,
Mark, I don't know if you've been on TikTok, but this is the sign when me and you are connecting. We're aligned, okay? And we're here, okay? I know Miss T talked about customer experience. Now,
Mhm.
Mark, absolutely, guys. Your business is not ran by you, okay? It is ran by your customer. And I know a couple of weeks back we talked about all the difficult situations where we're like, oh yeah, we're firing businesses. We're not going back because we can't get a hold of an agent. We're on prompting calls for longer than we should have. It's just a difficult situation. It is imperative that you implement feedback mechanism to better understand your customers' needs. It's
Mhm.
important that you do personalized servicing, right? In
Yes.
2024, I need my email to say my name at the top. Hello, Sylvie. I need something. So absolutely, loyalty programs, a lot of competitors are doing that nowadays. You know,
Yes.
I'm sure you guys have gone to donut shops and it's like, hey, on your fourth visit you get a 50% off. Like you said, the things are changing. It's important to stay abreast and to stay relatable amongst the ever-changing market.
I'm glad you mentioned that loyalty program because there is an ice cream shop that opened not too far from here, and so I was in there and I was asking her, "Do you have a get so many, whatever's, and you get a free one?" She said, "Free? Oh no, we just do a good job." Okay, all right.
Listen, so you would be doing a great job if you just add a little something in there. But
Especially
that's a
most
most people's mentality. It's
because
not broke,
most
why fix it?
slushies are just ice, right, Sylvia? You're not giving away the store.
Right.
Dr. Tachi says loyalty programs are great. Okay, you know who the queen and king of loyalty programs? Starbucks. Oh my gosh. They got stuff happening. You don't you have to read your offers before you go in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like before you get in the line, wait, what offers do they have?
How many stars do I have?
Right. Yes. I went in there the other day and the lady said, would you like to use your stars for this? Your stars will cover
Mm.
that and that. I was like, really? Light them up.
Listen, anytime I feel like I'm being left out when I see somebody scan their phone nowadays. Like,
Uh,
is there something I'm missing? Like, hold on, can I use your
do
discount
they have
code?
a special going on?
I want to tell people you're not gonna collect your points because I could collect them for you. We just need to be a little bit more understanding as customer friends
Mm.
because you just wasting points that I need. But absolutely, Starbucks customer point-based system, amazing. I mean, granted, it's only about like 5 stars for my little oat milk to be free, but it works for whatever reason. Maybe it's the visuals, the illustrations when you get
Mm.
stars. I think that all kind of goes into it too.
Right.
But I love that they always have tailored promotions, discounts based on their customers' preferences. Your
Mhm.
discounts are not going to be mine. And I thought that's awesome.
Right. And then there's like Tuesdays, 2 4. I was like, say what? Buy one, get one free. Um, Today is the happy hour is half off, half off. Now you know if you get something half off at Starbucks.
Okay. Yes, it's a
Now
win.
I got to get a banana nut bread too.
Just because it was half off, I can afford to get the banana nut bread now.
Exactly. And Dr. Tachi says, exactly, doing a good job is the bare
Bare
minimum.
minimum.
Absolutely.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Come on, you should be every day. Can I do better? What can I do better for you? How was your service? You didn't get a straw with your drink? That's how you keep a business successful and
Mhm.
growing. That's how you do it. And if you look at some of the 1800, 1900 businesses, the motor, that whole genre, like when you look at really the conglomerates and how they were created, it was based on my sister cousin friendships. Let me sit down. Let me make sure you have the best of the best. Even coming to McDonald's, they made sure at the 2 pickles, my pickles been sliding in 2024. We got to get back to the traditional, the standards. But to your point, Mrs. Francine, Starbucks does loyalty programs very well. Amazon does it very well. Sephora, Nike. Oh, and I have to say Delta. Delta has a great program. So if you are looking to implement any type of loyalty programs, I would say to look at some of those larger companies that are doing them well.
Right. So one of the things that
well, Mark said, "Hey, that makes it $25 instead of 50." I feel you, Mark, but it's okay. We still need a break every once in a while. We still want fries.
And we'll go back and pay extra to a company that took care of us, gave us loyalty points and stuff. We will go back for that, even if it costs more than somebody else.
Exactly.
We will just do it. Okay, now the cookies still need to taste good. The coffee still need to taste good, but we will go back. And the other thing that people do is make it right. If your drink ain't made right at Jamba Juice or Starbucks, I can't say about everybody. Can you take it back at McDonald's and say, okay, this coffee don't taste quite
yes
right? I don't know. I know Pete's, the higher end coffee places, if it don't taste right, you can bring it back and they will make it for you again.
And let's talk about it, Miss Francine, because I have a couple of friends that are like, and Miss I think Mark and Dr. Tatashi, you tell me how you feel about this, but I've been called bougie here recent. And at first I was like, is that a negative connotation? But then I had to use Google, and it really just says that I like the luxuries of a fancy lifestyle. I aspire to be upper middle class. That's what we're trying to do. So yes, I am going to shake my Starbucks drink and have it remade if necessary. Yes, I am going to go back to the McDonald's line if the fries aren't fresh, because again, if I don't get a my pleasure at Chick-fil-A, I'm looking sideways. And that's just what it is. Good customer service. For those who are used to it and require it and value their dollars, we speak a language with business owners that are saying my pleasure, that are saying, was that all right? When I get my 2 napkins in the bag, small stuff like that matters.
Put the fork in the bag. Don't let me have to go get it for myself. Okay.
And stop charging for sauces, because I feel some type of way.
Dr. Tachi said,
that is tacky. But Dr. Tachi says, right, not using the points is like leaving money on the table to consumers. And that's true. We do. It's just like not taking your vacation time. We leave a lot of stuff on the table in America. And she goes on to say, listen, I am bougie. I want to explain something to you, young ladies.
Okay.
People have always used that to make us settle for less.
Yes.
They used it when I came along in college, and it's, oh, Terry, you just bushy. Well, why the heck am I in college if I don't aspire to do better? And why did my mama send me here if she didn't want me to do better than she did? So yeah, if I ain't bushy, I'm definitely trying to get there.
Okay. And what is the history of that name, bourgeoisie?
Yes, and also it's code for some people for uppity. Okay.
Well, whatever.
Which means you halfway educated. Okay.
And that brings me to, I know, one of our other points, strengthening your network. I want to be connected with you, Miss T. Bougie recognize bougie, okay?
I mean,
We gonna have a grand old time.
And I ain't mad about it. I want you to be bushy. That's
Yes.
why I'm sending you to school. That's why I'm sending you to this school. Sending you to
Absolutely.
this. And sending you to girl, please. Spelman
Yes.
and Howard. And because when you get there, there's some people there that are going to teach you how to interact in different settings.
Right.
So that you can be even more prosperous. Let's just substitute the word prosperous for bougie.
And it
doesn't say that you don't want to make no money.
It doesn't say that you're trying to be better than someone else. It just means you want to be better for yourself.
You want the best of the best whenever possible.
And if you pay for the best of the best, pay for the best of the best, hire the best of the best, you're not being bougie. You probably
You're being excellent.
There you go. Okay, bougie means excellent. We
That's
just made
it. Who's being excellent out here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, then Dr. Tasha says, yes, how dare you do all this work to prosper and then behave like a street jackal?
Oh, I'm gonna start using that, doctor. Thank you. Street jackal.
Street jackal. Yes, let's just be.
And usually it's used by people who have not paid the price. I'm gonna tell you what they told my daughter at graduation when she graduated from Bethune-Cookman and HBCU. They told her people are going to want what you have, but they're not willing to do what you did to get it.
Absolutely.
And those are the people that are telling you your butt is bushy. Okay. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah, so what we gonna do?
We're gonna come up with some strategies to get even bushier. Okay.
Right. Make your business bougie.
Is bushier a word? Let somebody look that up.
I'm on it.
How about more bushy? Okay.
So if the business, do we do business with businesses that are not bougie? Let me ask that question.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, here and there. I try to keep it low.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not talking about in their so bougie means excellent. That's our terminology.
Yes.
Are we doing business with people who are not excellent? AKA, you go to the restaurant and there's a C on the window. Are we going in?
Oh my gosh. Have we looked to see? Because sometimes we just in the mood from food. We don't even look. And we get in there and we're upset because it's not
I will say, to your point, Miss Francine, as my excellence level has risen over the years, because once you get around more great women, like this, and you get in a community like BizChicks, it just naturally rises, just a little over a little. And so what I'm realizing, and even like really thinking through your question was, like I said, it's the bare minimum. Even in cases where I'm trying to be convenient or I'm hungry, it's trying to be quick, I know which Popeyes to go to and not go to no more. I know which McDonald's not to, and even those I don't really frequent at too often, right? I am learning that I do have more of a taste for finer things. Now, can we always, want to pay some finer prices? No. But even when I'm going to places that don't offer me the same experience, I'm still expecting a high level of customer service, right? I may go to a Chick-fil-A just because I still want to feel like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to that day, right? But you're absolutely right, Miss Francine. I'm paying more attention to the letter, what's the report on the outside of the building? I'm checking Yelp before I head to the establishment. If the bathroom is dirty, I'm a little nervous. If my waiter didn't smile, I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go. At this point, we can identify a less than excellent experience.
Right. So Dr. Tachi says if we're saying bougie means excellent, then we should aim to work with bougie businesses. Yes.
Yes.
We should be a bougie business. Maybe that's what we're headed for in 2025, a bougie business. And some people who don't understand the terminology that it means excellent, you do what you say you do when you bougie.
Yeah.
I like it.
You
I
know better
like
when
it.
you do better.
And it keeps a lot of toxic stuff out your life. Like the customer who wants you to replace the whole meal because after they ate the whole meal, then they allegedly find a hair on the plate. What are you dealing with them people? It's like, really? And it just happens to match their pink hair. Okay, I'm just saying.
You see, people be trying to fake the excellent. You can't fake the excellence. Okay? Because that's not all right.
No, that's not cute. It's not cute. So we want people to strive for excellence. We want to be associated with busy customers because busy customers will pay you what you really need
They
worth.
will, because they're looking for the same excellence that you
You
are
get
giving.
what you pay for, right? Isn't that what they always tell us?
Sylviana said, bougie knows bougie.
Mm-hmm.
They will come and find you because of your excellence. Why are we seeking out the high-end coffee shop? Why are we seeking out a better burger? Why? Because we want for ourselves
Well,
what we
yeah,
go ahead.
I tell you one thing that Five Guys. I can remember when those burgers were not. You couldn't. Well, you can get out of there for under $25 a head. Now they have done such a great job that they are charging almost $25 a head for you to get out of Five Guys Burger Place. Uh, and people are going there. Why? Because they like the burgers. The line's probably a little shorter, but they probably can deliver services quicker, and people are willing to pay the extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's levels, right? There's levels and tiers for a reason. Like you were
Mm-hmm.
saying, a McDonald's and a Five Guys burger are two different burgers, and they're two different price points and two different experiences. So for me, what I'm hearing is I need to get with some bougier friends. If any of this conversation sounded like, am I excellent? If you had to question, then you need to strengthen your network. You need to get connected with some more women within the BizChicks communities. You need to set up some conversations with the CEOs of the communities, because I think that's a huge strategy alone in propelling your business for 2024. Get with people who are doing things at a more heightened way, right? Or to get with people who are doing things differently. Get with
Mm-hmm.
people who you're like, I just want to learn from you, right? It's that season. We're no longer, I think, in a season of competition. We are very much so in a season of collaboration.
Yes.
Let's
Absolutely.
all go to the top.
Yeah, and that's what BizChicks has always been about. Mark has come and he says, my business is perceived to be bougie by nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the perception. Okay, what do we see when we go by what's one of the stores we walk by and they bougie. I'm not going to say that name. Like one of the high-end stores that you walk by, okay, on Rodeo Drive, there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole line of them.
You be scared to go inside.
But they're bougie and you know it. That means you take on a different attitude before you walk in the doors of that store.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, you're dressed appropriately too. You know what I mean? Carrying yourself a certain way.
So going into Tiffany's was a different way of doing things. You just didn't show up any old kind of way going into Tiffany's. You didn't. Oh yeah, there you go. Williams Sonoma. Oh my gosh. You walk up in that place, you're like, okay. You're in a different environment. You understand that's a bougie environment. I'm like, we might need to write a book, y'all. Bougie business.
I like
Cartier,
it.
yes. Louis Vuitton. You just didn't show up. You don't just walk up in there any kind of way.
You actually feel some type of way, like, oh, hold on, my bad. Hold on. The security looking at you sideways. You're like, okay, let me just go. Honestly, as a young adult, my friends, because I moved to Georgia, and my girlfriend, she used to be on Peachtree right there by Lennox and all that. And I used to be nervous to go in those stores, and I had to tell myself, why am I nervous? I am a shopper too. But it's like, though, like you said, those places require a different level of, I don't know, like exposure. You walk in and you could tell when people, this is their reoccurring purchase. You could tell when they're looking for the next collection. They have a tab. Even when I first bought my Louis Vuitton bag here recently, because I wanted to do something nice for myself, the experience is totally different. Okay, they have customer portfolios. They're only emailing out personalized email campaigns. I mean, the way they even handle their customers are just different. If somebody walked in, they got a mimosa. Okay, you've been here before. Okay, like you said, the experience is different. They have your sizing already in your portfolio chart. There's nothing that they're guessing about. It feels like more of a intentional a luxury experience.
It is. I remember going into Nordstrom's and getting fitted for, you buy something and they say, okay, now you can take it so that it's fitted for you, and they help you match the shoes and the whole ensemble. And they do keep a record of what you bought, and you had a personal shopper, you had a personal person to help you. I went into St. John's store in Arizona one day, in Scottsdale, not just Arizona, Scottsdale. I went in there and I was like, oh, would you like some champagne? I was just like, ooh. And I wanted to see what they had. And this was a high-end store. They didn't know me from anywhere. But
yeah. And I mean, those type of stores, they make you want to spend money or go find some money to spend. That's what it does.
Right. And so I was like, wow, this is good. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about strategies to propel your small business into a new year. What other things that you can do? We have, there's books that you can read that'll help you.
Absolutely.
Books that you can read. How many, what did they say? Readers are leaders. I read with my ears. I love audiobooks because I can listen while I'm doing other things. But have we listened to some new books? Have you read anything? And when we do the networking and collaboration, people can share with one another what they've read, what they've seen, or what's out there that has resonated or worked for them. So I'm thinking, yeah.
Absolutely. If you have not read a book this year, go ahead and go pick you one out. Get on Audibles. There's no excuses, y'all. I love podcasts personally. But you have to always keep learning. Everything, the world is moving so quickly. You got to stay on top of it, y'all.
Yes. So what I wanted to do was, Enrica, who is one of our BizChicks, she talked about, I wanted you to hear her story. And then let's talk about her story. This is going to be really good. Dr. Tachi says it also makes you want to aspire to be better when you see what is available. It's the difference between flying on Spirit and then first class on Emirates. Don't talk about Spirit Airlines. Ooh-wee.
I see no lies. No lies. And I'm still trying to get into the Delta Sky Club. Okay, there's levels. I'm almost there. But yeah, there's a difference.
Like, what the? Oh my gosh, Spirit Airline, you need to bring your backpack. You need to bring some stuff because.
No, for real, bring your life jacket and listen, don't leave nothing to chance.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Mark said also in 2024, create a strategy that takes the life you wish to create into account, not simply your business, all things together for a desired end.
Absolutely.
That part, Mark, that part. And
Music
when you
and
show up,
tango.
yeah, when you show up to work, all of you shows up. Ah,
And invest in your team, folks. For us that have them, I have a very small team, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are just starting don't have teams at all. So if you don't have a team, do a self check-in. But what Mark's point is very powerful, because things change, right? Life is always life, and people are constantly going through personal and professional transitions, and it's
mhm.
important that you honor you honor yourself and you honor your team. Meaning, do I need to have a conversation with my team, letting them know that I have less capacity this quarter or this year? My focus is maybe starting a family or whatever it may be, right? These are like, your business and your life should go hand in hand. But to Mark's point, if you are not prioritizing your one part of your business or one part of your life, identify that and make adjustments so that you're able to focus more on those things in the following year.
And see, you are the team. Remember that commercial where the one guy was wearing a hat? He said, okay, let me let you talk to the shipping manager. And he just moved over to the other side of the desk
Yeah.
and put a different hat on and answered the phone. You may not have a team of people, but you are the team, and that you have to take that into consideration. Does this team member need to take a break? And even if that team person is you, do whatever is necessary for you, for your better health.
Yeah.
Um what was that commercial? Well, no, remember Simone, was it Simone who took a day off in Tokyo or something? She's like, I'm done.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she's like, I can't do this right now. And
Yeah.
so she didn't do, she was like, mm-mm. But where's she at now?
Shout out. Shout out to my friend, sister, cousin. Okay. She don't know
She's
me, but
work.
we
She's
do.
working that black job.
Right? Doing great at her black job. Okay.
And but she took that break last time, and it propelled her for this time. Do you understand?
Mhm.
She didn't just keep moving on. I'm just gonna tough it. She was like, wait a minute, I need to time. Give me a timeout.
And they changed the rules of my sister, cousin, friend, and she still came and conquered. Okay. Excellence.
Right?
Excellence.
She's bougie. Okay. The biggest mistake that I see, people beginning their strategy based on what they have done instead of what they want. And they're creating the same paradigm. Oh, I
Wow.
love it, Mark. We're gonna have Mark come in here and teach us
Right?
a little something, something. Mark, we got to schedule that out. Okay, as I promised, I wanted to let you hear this video. We're going to talk about it. And let's talk after, let's see what insights you gain after this video. And I think if I just push add to stage, it should play.
When I was a bank teller, I was one of the top salespersons in the branch. So I always got like awards and promotions and presidents, meet the president, and all these kind of things. Um, and one of my favorite things to sell was money market accounts. They paid great dividends, way more than savings accounts. They were insured, so they're a very safe product. And for those who had a large amount of deposit to deposit, they like perform way better than a normal savings account. So I'll be like, hey, you need a money market account. Have you ever heard of that before? They're like, no, we don't. I don't want to. No, 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 no. I don't want a money market accounts. But I'm like, oh, I always had a rate sheet ready with it already highlighted, pointing to the percentage they would make. That underline, triple underline, it was insured, just like a savings. I'm like, take a look at this. You don't have to do it now, but take a look. You like leaving money on the table. When you want to talk more about it, account rep can kind of walk you through. You're not making as much as you should be making, and it's 100% insured, so there's no reason not to. But take your time. Next time you're in, let me know, and I'll hook you up with the account rep upstairs. And so that was my like spiel, and I would sell so many money market accounts. One day, my manager, she noticed, like, Enrica, what are you doing? You are selling a lot of product. And she's like, can you teach your process to everybody, like tellers, the loan service reps, the account service, everybody in the branch? We're gonna take a Saturday and do an hour, and you're gonna train everybody what you're up to, how you do it, and we're gonna have everybody do it. And then we kind of basically copied and paste my process, but for everybody in the credit union. After a while, I started noticing the difference between my customers who always love me and always like, I know money market. I'm gonna look at it. And they would talk to me and we kind of like play around. It was a fun thing, but I started noticing they were getting more and more cranky. So not only were they weren't playing around anymore. They would just be like, first of all, before you say anything, I don't want to hear about no money market account. I'm done. I don't want to hear it. I don't want your rate sheet. There's this super short with me. I'm like, what is going on? So the temperature had changed. And I'm like, what changed? What's different? I'm like, oh, everybody and their mom, they're getting the same word for word, pretty much verbatim process. And I'm no longer unique. I'm no longer the ones like, I'm looking out for you. I'm no longer the one who cares to share this vital information with them. It's just a script now, and everybody's using it, and they're tired of hearing it, and so they do a stonewall. I don't want to hear none of that. Be quiet. And so that kind of gave me a clue. Like, don't copy and paste your sales, your marketing. You need to stay fresh, stay unique. The care was still there. We were really trying to help the members and connect them with services that will actually help them, but doing it in a way that is like everybody else, and they hear it multiple times. It kind of loses the nuance, and it becomes like just noise. And so all that to say is I'm doing a sales conference. It's called Totality in Knoxville this September. We're going to be talking all about this, how to make a story connection, how to sell differently, how to stay creative and fresh in your approach, so that way you have open hearts, open ears to connect with your people. And because everybody sales is a natural, is a human thing, especially if you're doing it in a way that serves, how to come fresh and unique. That's what we're going to be talking about all for the conference. I'm doing a storytelling workshop and how to connect through story. So join me, take a look. I'm doing like the rate sheet. You ain't gotta tell me now, but just look at it. If it's for you, I would love to see you there. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
I thought I was like, oh,
That was the lesson, wasn't it?
yeah. And I was like, oh, I get it.
Do you want fries with that?
Right.
Is it canned? You know what I mean? It was and see, so many organizations now are some creators are creating or getting the little canned stuff. Like all you have to do is white paper. What is it called? White paper. The thing is already there. This is what you say. This is how you say it, and you just put your white label.
Yeah.
Where you put your own name on it.
The script.
You don't want to be white labeled. You want to be authentic. I was like, oh, I feel like going just because of the story that was told, right? Okay.
No, definitely detailed. I might need to go to Knoxville. You said
Exactly.
September, because she's absolutely right. Selling is something that it's almost a skill that you lose if you don't use it, almost like another language. And I remember at a point in time when I first started my business, I was pitch crazy. I mean, that's when we're all saying, get your 6-second pitch, get your 6-second pitch. I got a business card in my wallet, my purse, on my ear, like we're just ready, right? And then, like she said, you sometimes are wearing multiple hats. So I stepped out of my sales role and stepped into more of an operational role, more of an administrative role, things of that sort, right? And I recognized that once it was time for me to tap back into my sales role, I lacked confidence. I kind of forgot my script. I lacked personality. I had to kind of relearn my product or service to find out, like she said, what's my story? What are my main points? How am I going to make people feel like I got you? And so it's no longer a point where even you yourself in your business can get so used to saying the same line that it don't even sound as good anymore. It's like, oh, that's what you do. You have to, selling is not just the words that are coming out of your mouth. It's a body language. It's active listening. It's a amazing form of communication. She killed that video. Absolutely amazing. What she said that I heard that I had to write down literally was, you want to make sure that you're making changes and refinements, but not without compromising the quality. The intention was, okay, I'm doing great. Let's copy paste and let's all do it. Right. And that's what most of us do. If it's working, let's bottle this up, double it. Let's just all do it. But when she recognized that, something's a little off. I'm not getting the same reactions. I'm not getting the same feedback as I usually do. What are we missing here? I love her ability to identify change. I love her ability to review the feedback that she was receiving. Because again, it's not like you're doing anything bad. It's just in a switch, the reactions changed, right? And that takes someone who is deliberately and intentionally seeking out scaling and seeking out always improving to be able to even want to pay attention to those things. But what she said was, I had to realize, okay, I can't compromise the quality. Whatever we do, even if it's saying the same script but personalizing in a way that fits you a little bit more, right? Because I've never been a fan of scripts. I've worked sales jobs and I have a lot of personality, and sometimes you're trying to say every word that it's like, one, you sound robotic, two, you lose the personableness, right? So I loved it. I definitely am going to need more details of how I can sign up.
Yeah, I think we should take a road trip. Well, not a road trip, an airline trip to Knoxville. I am not driving.
And I'm not doing Spirit. We can't.
Oh no, we might need to get you some. We might need to get the what is it, the miles that the club miles.
Yes.
Something, but we are not doing Spirit. Okay. Mark says, regarding strategy, I'm awaiting the day when the cable/internet companies learn about the value of long-term customer retention versus sole focus on new customer acquisition. It is a missed gold mine. And you see, I think T-Mobile does that well. T-Mobile takes care of its existing customers. I talk to a person when I call in. I'm not talking to a bot. I got Tuesday perks. I got all kind of stuff, kind of like Starbucks, but it's for something else. And why am I talking about T-Mobile? Because they take care of you. They offer you prices. Oh, you're up for a discount on we can probably get you a better blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, let's talk.
And it's interesting because some people may say, okay, where does T-Mobile fall on the tier of servicing? But even like Mark is saying, cable, internet, and I think cellular services, I've had to change what prompts me to say they're good or not. Because you're right. I used to think, Verizon's the best. My mom used to say it. I can do, I'm making calls in the air. We just love the Verizon. And then until we didn't. Then I realized when I moved on the East Coast that, it depends on your area, really, where you get the best
really
service.
Does.
Yeah. Then I had a friend who had T-Mobile, and I'm like, T-Mobile, but he told me about the Tuesday deals. He was getting free food. I was like, what? Verizon ain't doing that. So you're right. As industry changes, what makes you say something is good or bad should also change with it.
Right. Dr. Tashi says, I've been with T-Mobile since they were VoiceStream in the early 2000s. Now that's some lineage right there, Dr. Tashi. The poor customer service agent is forced to hear my TED talk on the issue when I call, when my rate goes up again.
And that is not them. That's them lacking an optimized operation, because they know that there's going to be 100 of you, Mark, calling. They know as soon as they click that button and you receive that notification, if it's a good business, because sometimes they just be up changing the prices, they ain't even notifying you. Okay, that's a whole different TED talk. But yeah. Yes, Mark, they know. My mom, I guess 24-hour gym just ended their loyalty program, or their grandfather program. So she sent an email, called, and everything else, because at one point they were keeping things the same price, and they were like, "Hey, we have to increase everybody's service at this point." She hadn't changed. She hadn't even been to the gym, nor had she even. She has been a member for, I think, the last 10 years. So it's one, she's not even coming in. Two, she's been a member, again, missing the mark, goalpost or gold mine, as Mark was saying, because again, you are willing to scrutinize and create a situation where you're losing a customer ultimately. Because of why?
And wait, but she's not been using the service, and you still getting her money every month.
Yes.
And you can't keep her grandfathered in. So grandfather passed or something, because apparently grandfathered in means that we don't change your stuff.
That part. And she sent a letter So I guess, yeah. So now we are no longer 20. Yep, we had to let them go.
They're gonna go by the way some other people get bought out by somebody else. Who cares?
Man, that part. And honestly, a lot of us are going to smaller gyms for better experiences. Sometimes it don't be the big guy. We want to go where we feel love, folks. That's something to remember in 2025.
Help the people feel the love. Help them feel the love. This has been an outstanding conversation. Ann Hart TV, thank you for joining us today. And as always, Ask Mark Ward, Dr. Tachi. We appreciate y'all. We love all y'all. And the reason why we're here is to help take the hassle out your hustle. That is our sole purpose for being here. And we are looking forward to our first Monday event, which is happening today at Seasons 52 over at the Arden Fair Mall. If you are in the Sacramento area, we invite you to join us. I'm going to see if I can make that stream it. I got to figure out some stuff just because of the internet situation over there. But I'll see what I can do to make that happen. But in the meantime, if you're in the area, come on and join us. We're at Seasons 52. Just show up. There's no charge except for whatever you buy at the restaurant. And then we'll be back. Oh, yeah, if you want to join the BizChicks community, you can just text biz to 33777. You can go to bizchicks.net, and we will continue to bring you the love and helping you build a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. So we'll see you tomorrow. TJ is coming in with her marketing talks, and we are looking forward to it. You may be able to catch us on IndieSoup.tv tonight. I think it's at 6. But anyway, come on in. We appreciate you being with us live and on the replay. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.